Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good. And I get asked all the time from new middle game players, people working on their mods, people who've been playing for a long time, never worked on their mods, now they want to start. You know, which mods should they farm? Which ones are the most important? Which of these mod sets can make the biggest impact on your roster? So we're going to take a look at this here. But before we get into that specifically, I want to take one brief set of time, I don't know, a brief moment in time, and let's take a look at mods in general. Let's go look at Boss Nest. I don't want to look at Commander Soak. Everybody's got Boss Nest. So let's talk about mods real briefly here and how they work. So you put your mods on your characters, and they've all got, you know, if this is a health mod with a protection primary, a health mod with a potency primary, health with a protection primary. And, you know, as new game players, as early game players, mid game players, you may not have the ideal set of mods on every game, every character that you've got. Even late gamers, you get new characters, you don't have the right mods for them. But we're going to talk about exactly which mods will fill your roster out the best. But let's take a look at this first. So, 2 mods are required for a health bonus. So, you get up to 10% health at level 15. 2 mods for defense, 4 mods for crit damage, 2 mods for crit chance, 2 for tenacity, 4 for offense, 2 for potency, and 4 for speed. This information is really important to you when you're farming your mods. Pay attention to this if you're not. I see people all the time that aren't. Just a quick note to pay attention to that. Now let's go talk about those mods and which mods you really want to farm the most as you're working up your collection of mods on your roster. We'll start at the bottom with crit chance mods. I see this all the time. I see crit chance mods here that are sitting on characters and possible rewards. All these crit chance mods. Thank you so much. I see crit chance mods all the time on characters. On Darth Vader, his triangle is a crit chance triangle, and it's a crit chance primary. You got crit chance mods all over the place. Honestly, you just don't need crit chance mods all that much. Now, I think my buddy Calvin has a pretty good video about it to talk about when you do need crit chance mods. A character like maybe Mando, the Mandalorian, when he crits, he gets crit chance up. When he has crit chance up and he's got his contract, then he can disintegrate someone. So there are some characters that want crit chance up, but you'll find a lot of them, like Darth Vader, who you want him to crit. He's got a lot of crit chance built into Merciless Massacre, into his kit. Han Solo has a lot of crit chance built into his kit. Whenever a character has a lot of crit damage, they generally have some crit chance built into their kit. But honestly, you're just going to crit a lot. There's more chances to crit in the game than there are chances to not crit in general. So you don't really need a lot of crit chance mods. I'm sure there's some datacrons that would kind of kick back at that and give you more crit avoidance. They exist. But yeah, crit chance is really the lowest level mod. So I'd say that out of all the mods, this is the one you want to farm the least. Our next tier down will involve these two. Defense and crit damage. Now, defense, let me pause. I forgot to say this. Every single one of these mods we talk about has its proper place, okay? I'm not saying, just to be clear, I can't wait for the comments. It may be too late. Just to be clear, defense mods, crit damage mods, crit chance mods, they have a place in the game. They fit on characters. They increase your chances of they'll give you more defense, give you more crit damage, give you more crit chance. These mods have places in the game. However, I'm going from bottom to top of the type of mods you want to farm when you're just getting going on your mod journey, or you haven't done it in a while and you want to think about what mods to get. So, defense mods. You can put defense mods on like a Kylo Ren unmasked on some of your tanks. Fives is a popular place to put defense mods. Gas is a popular place to drop a couple of defense mods, give them some more defense, hold on to their protection a little bit longer. However, a lot of times your defense mods can be replaced with health mods, and it's not all that much of a difference. It'll be a difference, but defense is just kind of, it's there, and it's a nice to have on some rosters. It's not a bad thing to have. It's just that I think you get enough defense mods from other game nodes, from other things going on in the game, that you really don't have to go out and farm a bunch of defense mods. So I would put defense mods as the second lowest tier here. I'm also going to put crit damage mods here. Now, there was a time in the game when crit damage mods had a tremendous amount of value. You put crit damage on Darth Vader, you put crit damage on Boba Fett, and you still can do that. You still can put crit damage and on Darth Vader, Boba Fett, other Han Solo. You can even put it on Chewbacca. You can put some tenacity on him too, but Crit damage, I don't know if limited usage is the right word, but it's very specific usage. And there are times when crit damage doesn't work. And we'll talk about it in a moment. A full offense set really offers you nearly or the same benefit as a crit damage set overall. Once you put in all the modifiers, you get those offense primaries. A full offense set can really do the same thing for you that a crit damage set can do. And crit damage for some characters doesn't really apply. You got like Jedi Knight Luke doing true damage, or not. Oh, you got what am I thinking? A Dark Trooper who doesn't generally crit. You've got Yoda who does special damage. You know, in these cases, crit damage doesn't really make a lot of sense in those characters. So I'm putting defense mods and crit damage mods. I'm going to say they're situational, and they are really good when used in the right places. But as far as farming them, you can farm other mods and really provide just as much benefit to your roster. Moving on to our next tier, it's going to be these little bookends here. These bookends of Tenacity and Potency. Tenacity and Potency. You know, these are really good mods, and they go on a lot of characters. You'll find a lot of times, like a Chewbacca can be being completely stripped out with Tenacity. You'll find a Darth Malik being completely, modded out with Tenacity, with a Tenacity. Because the Tenacity, it prevents you from getting debuffs. It prevents you from getting stunned or dazed, or it provides a lot of value to your characters. And Potency is the same way. You'll find like a Palpatine, an Emperor Palpatine being completely modded out with Potency to make sure he lands as many of those stuns as possible on his AoE. You'll find Potency on Mara Jade, just 2 Potency mods with a Potency primary. You'll find Potency on Boushh Leia, a Potency cross with a Potency primary. You'll find the Potency and Tenacity mods all over the game. But we're putting these in order, right? So as far as Tenacity and Potency, they have their uses, and I think they have more uses and more specific and more detailed and fine uses. In fact, when we look at like a cross, a Tenacity cross or a Potency cross, you can also have, in addition to having a Tenacity cross or a Potency cross, you can have a Tenacity primary and a Potency primary. And that is double tenacious and potentious. It just is. Give me a potentious in comments if you made it this far. So these mods really have a good purpose in the game. They fit in a lot of places. You will get them from a lot of the some of the journeys, and I can't remember what the thing is called. What's that? The dangerous droid or daring droid, like those extras. When you finish the BB-8 event, when you finish the Thrawn event, you get those events once a month where you're going to get some Potency and Tenacity mods out of it. So they're very good mods. There are characters that are completely modded for Tenacity or Potency, or they're heavily modded for those things. Make sure to use swgoh.gg when modding your characters. I say this all the time. You'll find what the best players in the game are modding those characters for, and you can see when those Tenacity and Potency mods come in, and then maybe you go specifically farm them during those time periods. So they're going to come in at a third to the bottom, but we're getting toward the top here. It's not a long list. Next place I'm going to say offense mods and health mods. We're going to go back and forth here a little bit. Let's start with health mods. I actually don't think you can ever go wrong farming health mods. They plug into the place of a lot of these mods. They can plug into the place of a defense mod. They can plug into the place of a Tenacity mod. It's really, when you look at like a defensive type of mod, Tenacity defense or defensive types of mods, health mods can really take the place of those, and maybe you get a health cross with a Tenacity primary, right? Or a health cross with a defense primary. You can put the health in there, and it applies to so many characters across the board. It applies to like an entire Galactic Republic team under Padme, where they all want a bunch of health. She gives a bunch of extra health, and then their protection up is based on their max health. Wampa, her protection up is based on her max health. Health mods are really kind of the generic mod of the game, and not in a bad way. It's not like this generic mod tastes worse than the brand name mods. It's a really good mod, and generally speaking, if you're not sure what kind of mod to farm, I'd recommend just going to get a bunch of health mods. It's definitely not going to hurt your roster to have as many health mods as possible. Not only, it's not just for tanks, it fills into places. You can have an offense set, you put some extra health on there. You can have a crit damage set, you put some extra health in your speed set, whatever. A couple of offense mods will fit on every single roster, every single character in your roster, and it may not be the ideal set for every single character in your roster, but it certainly isn't going to hurt you to have a health mod set on your character. Next, I'm going to look at offense. offense mods, you know, whenever you get an offense character, I mentioned this earlier with the tenacity, or excuse me, the crit damage mods. You can find these offense mods from the start, and they're plug and play on every single, and I really do mean this, and there might be a couple that don't want it, but every single attacker that goes into a team can use an offense mod. You know, I'm kind of thinking like Emphas Nest. You want to have all tenacity on her, but you know, just let's just take that out. Let's say like 95% of the attackers in the game can use offense mods. Whether they are good at crit damage, like Darth Vader wants a bunch of crit damage, he would still do really well with an offense set. Or Boba Fett, he does really well with crit damage. Han Solo does really well with crit damage. They would still do really well with an offense mods. It's gonna enhance their abilities still to a really high degree, and that's why I go to offense mods here, because the offense mods will also enhance characters like Dark Trooper or Jedi Knight Luke or Grandmaster Yoda. Although Grandmaster Yoda kind of wants to speed with offense, but we'll talk about that in a second. So offense mods are the plug and play attacker offense mod set, and then they're called offense mods, but they kind of replace crit damage mods as more and more characters became more reliant on true damage or not critting or just doing offense. These offense mods come into more vogue, and what you'll see if you go to the top of the game, you look at characters like Darth Vader or even Han Solo, you'll see more players in the game modding their characters at the high end with offense mods. And that is because, well, a couple of things. One is they're not reliant on critting. Like an offense mod, it'll do a bunch of more damage if it doesn't crit. We mentioned crit is pretty common, though. But in offense mods, the players at the high end of the game are farming more and more and more offense mods and less crit damage mods, because crit damage mods are situational, or more situational, whereas offense mods are going to fit every offensive character in the game in the right situation. B1's a character that doesn't crit. You want offense mods on B1. But even so, these offense mods will benefit everybody that does damage in the game, whether they are crit damage reliant or not. So offense mods and health mods coming at that second to top tier. And finally, I don't think I'm going to surprise anybody here. We talk about it all the time. The speed mods are at the top of the tier. If you're going to farm any mod in the game, speed, speed, speed. All of your Galactic Legends, almost all your Galactic Legends want a speed set. So many characters in the game benefit from a speed set, and even characters that don't, if you throw a speed set on them, they can maybe do some surprising things to people. I remember one time I put my CLS team against a gas, and I lost the gas because he was really, 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 really fast. And he just kept getting ahead of me, and I, for whatever reason, I don't remember, it's been a while, but I do remember that happening. So if you're going to farm one type of mod, and you're not sure what to farm, and you got some characters that need speed, I guarantee you have characters that need some speed. Speed mods is just the way to go. The game is all about speed. Speed, 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 and then some more speed. Make sure you get those speed secondaries on your speed mods. But speed mods are the most important types of mods to farm in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So there you go. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing something. I will look forward to hearing from you. I hope all of you have a great day, and good luck with your mod farming and mod slicing. And always remember, Nooch Too Good.